would work out to play chess. And you're like, well, why do you're just sitting down? But no, you are mentally concentrating on something for multiple hours. For any other ball sport, yeah, it's more difficult physically, but to have the mental concentration over the course of an entire weekend for low ink is very difficult to do and is a bit of a stress on you physically, at least your brain physically. But Vantablack able to get a bit of a break, as all teams that win in winners finals do. Now going up against Altruist. I think the colors are reversed because the Dynamo team is on the orange, which is Vantablack. And PogChamp had a solo player moment for the ages earlier in a best of 5 in a game 5. So now coming back at her with the decap, we'll keep an eye on that player. They've been playing fantastically all day.
Lyco was I believe a Dynamo one trick well before the buffs. And the buffs they've really made like anybody who was a Dynamo player be like, finally my time to shine. Octoseal does go forward with that Reef Slider, doesn't get a pick though, is going to get taken out for that. And now Altruist is getting some points onto their side and actually forcing the rest of Vantablack to get out of here. PogChamp jumping in, but not able to actually make anything happen. They were all alone. This Dynamo did deploy Cooler. They're starting to get some turf down for the rest of the team. You know, I like that Vantablack is not charging in unnecessarily. They're starting to use their specials. They've got the tri-strikes out. It's not going to be enough to cap that zone, but I think it did at least make some room for the rest of the team to get in. Unfortunately, they did lose their bucket. They're starting to lose the positions once again. Just did not turn out how I'm sure they wanted to.
And now Altruist in a pretty decent situation to get the lead, but the Reef Slider doesn't connect. They were trying to get some splats on top of that as a poor Dynamo roller realizing, man, that thing looks ugly when it doesn't have any ink in the system right there. That thing looks miserable. But penalty points gone for Vantablack. The question is, can they weather the storm? The Ink Strikes and Reef Slider ready to go in conjunction with each other. And of course, Reef Slider basically broken on this stage. If you connect right in the middle, especially if you go on the backside, it's an automatic cap. So that's the problem Vantablack has to deal with, this awkward tug-of-war splat zones, is how do we hold on to the zone long enough to start putting up points, and also probably 2 Reef Sliders we're going to have to weather in order to get lead.
And also you want to make sure that you don't lose everybody on your team. That's going to open up a lot of room for Altruist to set up here. Of course, you've got 2 buckets. This is absolutely a playground for them. It's, you know, great for Dynamo as well over on Vantablack's side, but Altruist having the Slosher plus the Dreadringer means they can absolutely play all around the ledges. They haven't been able to set up too well for that ledge camping right now. They have been sort of forced back to just do their best to maintain this zone, but they're still doing a great job of stalling it out here. Gibbons, we've seen do so well today on this end zap, was getting pushed back here, but they've been taking these fights together with teammates whenever they can. I say that they are alone now and they get punished for it. That's why you don't take multiple fights all by your lonesome.
And now, okay, so if you're going to win, you're going to have to force Reef Sliders like that. That was just kind of a panic Reef Slider that they're going to have to deal with here. But now you guys start pushing up. You got to get rid of that Dreadringer before they can get another one ready to go, because you're not going to get a lot of points out of this if you can't shut down that Dreadringer. Still, the zone does flip back yet again, so that's just more penalty points being thrown on top here. Instead, it seems like Vantablack's just kind of opting to attack the zone instead of sending somebody around the flank to start getting some splats and shut down the paint production that Altruist can throw out here. Instead, they're just constantly retreating back. That's when your crab is doing nothing but rolling backwards, that's not a good sign, and that's credit to the pressure Altruist is putting onto Vantablack. Penalty points gone.
They are gone, and they are ticking down here. We have about 10 left to go. They only lose their Slosher. Everybody else is still alive. They have plenty of weapons that are great at painting. They might lose control here. It's looking really, really close. Lyco doing their best to maintain control of that, to make sure to get it back for Vantablack, and they do. Altruist does lose control, but gets down all the way to 1.
aggression needs to be coming out here from Vantablack if they want to get this one here. Instead, Altruist in a fantastic position to get the lead. They've been the more aggressive team, especially when they've had the lead. They've been forcing the initiative here, but now a couple of players going down. The question is going to be, as the zone will go to Vantablack here into overtime, can they build up the specials necessary? PogChamp is not going to be pogging much longer. They ultimately get splatted, and Octoseal just turfing anything. Let me just get this GG slider. And oh, while that's going on, Gibbons is going to clean up everybody with the end zap. Everyone with the end zap to buy enough time. Reslider back to the zone. GG. Altruist wins one of the 6 games they're going to have to win to pull out the low ink here.
Number one things chat wants Popgun to say. PogChamp, not going to be pogging much longer.
What the chat said. What? Don't feed.
It's okay,
the chat.
guys. I know what you're going to say.
I saw Yoshi God is gone, so that's a big plus for all of us.
I may have just gotten the back now.
Excuse
there's a
me.
disturbance in the force.
There's so many people that are just pinging them now. You gotta get Popgun mentioned. You gotta get back on here. Let's mention Vantablack not being aggressive in these kind of situations. Not gonna be pushing up. It seemed they were opting, and it's difficult to do that when you don't have the lead. Your mindset is, let's stay in your zone. Let's make sure we hold on to the zone. But when you don't force the initiative, and maybe there just wasn't a way for them to force the initiative, maybe there just wasn't alleyways for them to take advantage of and take the fight to Altruist. But when you don't have the lead and the other team has a reef slider and you don't, you're just not going to win the tug of war. Likely to. I mean, you can force reef slides like that, but you're not going to force them all to be awkwardly used like that. Eventually, they're going to go in the zone. Vantablack now. Look, both teams very familiar with each other. This is the third of potentially 4 matches they played against each other. They've traded. They did play yesterday, and I think we're just going to see the same stages over and over again, aren't we?
We are. Who knew that we'd see a lot of TC ship-shaped cargo company? I've seen so many people be like, I hate this map. It is so annoying to have to retake on. But if you like it, you like it. And if you feel confident on it, and the complaint against it is how hard it is to get back in, then okay, well, we're going to go into this confidently. We're going to take strong positions. We know exactly where we want to be going. The tower control is moving on a fixed path. We know where we want to go.
And this was the counter pick that Altruist made in the previous match.
That's true.
So this is, they're fine going here anyways. This isn't and I think they played against each other last time here. I'm pretty sure Vantablack won that, so that's probably why they're picking it. But this isn't like we gotcha, Altruist. This is where you're not going to be comfortable with. I mean, Gibbons even has the right timing to defend that second checkpoint. And they're fresh, ready to go right here. We'll see how the openings go. A couple of punches thrown, none of them connecting. PogChamp trying to make something happen is finally we get a splat about 30 seconds in as Altruist is going to get control of the tower first.
Do they see how? How does get a trade there? And Lyco does already see where they're going, but they're actually one. Going down there, that is going to be an easy first checkpoint clear for Altruist. They're setting up to now already make sure they've got that bucket already moving in onto that top plat area. They've already got Octoseal on the Dread putting down some paint in the Bats area. They know where they want to be taking these positions. They're throwing out strikes to buy some time away from the Crab. The slider's going to come in. I think probably an ill-timed slider, didn't end up doing a whole lot there. Probably thought people were going to be more on top of or in front of the tower, but that did not end up happening. So went down in that fight, but a strong opening down all the way down to 28 is not so bad.
It's not bad. On a stage like this, it means literally nothing. This is essentially a tie game still until the clock hits 0. If this was Art Academy, a brilliant counter pick, yeah, we'd be essentially over right now. But Vantablack able to get a wipeout here, so this checkpoint's cleared. Now, they don't even have to get past the second checkpoint. They just got to get to it. The question is, defensively, how can Altruist just hold on to that plat area? And by the way, the Dynamo doing a good job of sniffing out the Ink Strike player who's a little bit farther away. Here comes the Reslider away from the tower. And that's why you got to use it. You were kind of mentioning before Reslider not being good with tower control. Yeah, you can't just aim it at the objective and automatically get it back, just wrestle it away from the enemy team. But they've been using Reslider really well against the players that are stuck out in the open. Not that one time, but every other time. And getting key splats on top of it there. But, man, we're just at the halfway mark, and both teams are, like, as far as the scoreboard is concerned, so close to the KO.
Yeah, they're both so close to each other. Looks like Altruist is trying to make something happen here, but that bucket's going to get taken out. They already used strikes. They can't use it right now anyway. The Dread went down. That was a push that ended up going nowhere. Vantablack is to set up now. They do need to get to 27 or lower to get the lead. They've got almost a little bit less than half the game to go. They're getting some picks down. Right now, trades are happening. The strikes are coming out right now. They look pretty scattered, though. The slider's going to come in. Yeah, that is an example of a... And I say this as somebody who plays a lot of Dread and has done a lot of reef slidering from day one of Splatoon 3. And that was a rough slider, and I would have done it too. And I still would have been like, that was bad.
Well, they at least got
any value.
They got a trade out of it because I think it did take care of the Dynamo. And more importantly, it displaced everybody else. It didn't play a factor of them holding on to the lead, which Altruist is still doing there. But it's doing enough to cause panic, which of course it would. And if you get a splat on top of it, that's just the icing on the cake there. But everything is being thrown at this tower. Desperate attempts to try to get the lead and try to hold on to the lead. And here comes some strikes very early as they try to kill that player. They absolutely do. This should be the lead. I don't think they're in position, but here come the Ink Strikes at just not the perfect time. Wait, they tie it. They don't get lead. They don't get the lead and the wipeout on top of it. Oh, the Ink Strikes. I didn't give you enough credit.
You know what? We talk about Slider is not the best special for zone, for tower, excuse me, because it's not an objective special. You use it very differently, and it can be really strong otherwise, but Strike's so good on tower control. They played those exactly when they needed to. Shreds a bubble, and Vantablack just wasn't set up to take bats quite yet, and they really needed that space in order to get down to 27. Getting that tie is going to put you back 1 point. Strikes come out again. Not doing a whole lot just yet. Everything's being thrown at the table right now with 10 seconds left to go, and that is going to be fantastic for Altruist because they get the wipeout here.
Altruist coming in from the loser side of the bracket is going to go up 2-0 and knocking on the door of a bracket reset, a very quick bracket reset. They've lost one match. All weekend long, it was to this very same Vantablack team. You're reigning from the Ink Up champions. Not able to get any wins so far in this match. And that was their counter pick too. And again, like you're counter picking this. It's hard to beat one team twice in the same day when skill level's roughly the same, because the losing team is going to be in a situation where, like, okay, we know it didn't work. We could make some adjustments here. But Altruist or Vantablack opting to do the same things they did so far up to this point that worked for them before. Altruist seems to be doing a little bit better on the adjustment side of things. And attacking the tower, I mean, just swarming the tower from all different angles throughout that entire defensive situation they're put in there. Did Altruist only have one push of the tower at the very beginning and then just played 4 minutes of defense on ship shape? I think they did.
Yeah, roughly. They
That's
did
crazy.
keep pushing it, but you know that you don't have to push it super, super hard. Ideally, you just want to keep it off of your side so you don't have to overcommit to a push. That is the major benefit of getting the early lead, is that you know that you don't have to overcommit. You can just make sure you're playing positions. Octoseal's slides were so fantastic. I wouldn't say that, they worked 100% of the time, but when you get slides so frequently, you have such crazy paint output. You can get, you go down with slide, and then you get another one ready in 15 seconds. And I think just that offensive pressure of making sure you're keeping an eye out for like geometry, being like, okay, and if I slide at this angle and those two people are stuck together over there and they're gonna have nowhere to really to run to, and I'm gonna slide a little bit past them where I think they're gonna run to, and then I'm gonna explode and I'm gonna take them both with me.
Clan Blitz at Umami Ruins. The last-ditch effort here for Vantablack to avoid a bracket reset. They'll have to win this in 2 more counter picks from Altruist if they want to end this tournament right now. Otherwise, if Altruist wins this, we will reset the bracket. We'll do it all over again, and the winner of that one will be the winner of the whole kit and caboodle. Vantablack, Clan Blitz Umami is what they're opting to go with. I think this is the first time we've seen Clan Blitz since you and me been casting this.
For sure.
For these teams in particular. And I'll have to do, I did take a nap today, so I was vaguely paying attention when these two teams played in winners finals. I have to see if this is a repeat as well, as far as stages that they picked against each other.
Yeah, they did play this before, and it went in Vantablack's favor.
They did. You're right. This is another playback. You remember those old days when we were beating these guys? And let's try to play the classic hits again. So, Ship Shape didn't work out. We'll see if Umami can be a little bit different. PogChamp has been very effective with the bubblers in Clan Blitz. And the Slosher instantly going down for Altruist as Vantablack starts pushing up right at the start.
Yeah. Additional picks coming out onto Altruist. Lyco is going to go down onto the side of Vantablack, but as long as Vantablack keeps control of this territory in mid, it's going to be very, very important for them. But they're getting pushed back a lot. Buff Shack pushing in on that. Does get one pick. Really close to taking out that Dread. Make sure to, that's the perfect place to hide from a slider on this map, is just like, protect me, pillow. You can shield me from all this damage. And it worked out. Took out that Dread slider, and Altruist is moving in here. They've got strikes ready. They're going to strike them around the basket. But you might see that their claim holder backed up quite a bit.
Somebody's frustrated when they use the this way button when you're all in VC with each other. It's like jump to me. But I don't even know if that was the position you would want to jump to. Like, even if you do pop the basket, you weren't in a great spot to get anything out of it other than just giving Vantablack a free Mercy Clam to work with. So maybe a good non-score right there. The problem is the entire stage is flipped. Vantablack with a bubbler to work with. Oh, now they're not going to get anything out of this. Now they're the ones who are going to give a free. Oh, and wiped out too. Oh, this is going to be bad. This is going to be very bad. I think we're staring down a bracket reset. Getting wiped out is the worst thing you can do on your own push, especially when you get nothing out of it. Look at all the resources. That doesn't even include the Mercy Clam that Altruist has to work with, plus 2 specials. This is going to be hard for Vantablack to hold on to.
They are using all those specials right now. The strike's coming out. The slide came out. Everybody's got a cooler active. We're throwing in clams. We're down to 48. That is going to be the end of that push, though, which means that Vantablack can take all of this space for free.
That's the flip side on that. Yes, you get to 48 remaining. Yes, you hold on to your Mercy Clam, but you got wiped out too. And now Vantablack's going to do it right back. Now look at the resources they have building up. Look at the bubbler they got, a couple of power clams, some other mini ones they could throw in as well. Oh, both teams are loaded for bear, and it's just a question of who can get the splats first. If Vantablack gets them, they're going to get lead right back as well. Both teams being very aggressive with their pushes, and it's going to come back to bite them right here. Here comes the crab and the ink strikes. Here comes the Reef Slider that doesn't get anything on top of it, trying to display some players, and here come the floodgates exploding open Vantablack in a great position, and somebody who just got splatted can go back to get that Mercy Clam and jump in as well. Exactly what they're going to do to 20. Oh, no! You skipped leg day! You missed it! Oh, you end up getting the rebound and throwing it back in anyways. Oh, why is this other player jumping in? Now they get wiped out. Now Altruist has an opportunity. Stop getting wiped out. What are we doing? Both teams, slow down. Oh, but this is exciting to watch, though.
It is so exciting to watch. I mean, on one hand, I'm like, yeah, keep wiping out. This is this is great content. I love to see it. But yeah, maybe if you're on either team, it's like, okay, maybe let's stop all 4 dying when we go in for a clam push, because it's setting things up really nicely. Look at all of those powered clams Altruist is holding. They're throwing them in. See, they just need a few more clams, and they take that. 2 more, and they win that. Wintrees throws in one of them, gets taken out. Gibbons has them, though. Throws them in. What in the world?
Hoenn and Brush, if you're still listening to this in PC, reset the bracket. Altruist making a statement, and the worst thing you can do with Clam Blitz, I say this so many times, and it's happened so many times in Lowing, you cannot get wiped out when you have the enemy basket open.